Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, plays critical role in regulating the electricity sector in Nigeria, ensuring fair practices, promoting efficiency, and fostering sustainable development. Today, a new electricity tariff specifically targeted at customers on Band A nationwide was announced. This move is presumed to reflect the Commission's commitment to enhancing the efficiency and sustainability of the electricity supply chain, while addressing the unique needs of different categories under the new tariff. Customers on Band A who enjoy 20 hours of electricity supply daily will now pay 225 naira kilowatts per hour. The Vice Chairman of Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, Musliu Hussaini, says customers on Band A are 15% of the total electricity customers in the country. That means customers on other bands are not affected by the new tariff. One will wonder what would inform the decision by the federal government to exclude nearly 85% of electricity consumers from the new tariff. In other words, what is the rationale behind the introduction of the new tariff for Grade A, and of course the potential implications of these changes on both consumers and the broader energy landscape? Guests on the program today will give insight into these new tariffs and of course its implication. Thanks for joining us. I am Eukaria Clinton. Welcome to Nigeria Today. Network for Electricity Consumers Advocacy of Nigeria, NECAN, Uket Obonga. You're welcome to Nigeria Today.
Thank you for having me. Good evening.
Now, what we wonder, when I heard this, Band A consumer, it's kind of a little bit new to me. So I would want, first of all, what do you mean when you say, who are the Band A customers, really?
Well, thank you. Band A customers are customers in a cluster of feeders that the distribution company commits to supplying minimum of 20 hours a day to qualify them to pay higher tariff. For instance, here in Abuja, under the AEDC, Band A customers pay 81 naira 18 kobo per unit of electricity. Why? Because the service-based tariff, as the name implies, service-based tariff, you are paying or you are being billed or charged based on the service level delivered to you. And the service level delivered to this group of customers is 20 hours minimum each day. There are 24 hours in a day, and there are 720 hours in a month of 30 days. And now the DISCOs commit to supplying this category of customers 600 hours in a day. But I can tell you authoritatively that is not happening.
Okay, but before we go into what is happening and not what is not happening, now, what could have been the factors that influenced the decision of increasing the tariff of 15% of the total consumers of the electricity?
Well, that figure of 15% is wrong. If Abuja consumers who are paying 81 naira 18 kobo currently, this morning, this afternoon, I bought electricity worth 50,000 into my meter. And it was at 81 naira 18 kobo. And now you say you have increased it from 81 naira 18 kobo to 225 naira. Certainly that is not 15% increase. That cannot be 15% increase.
No, we're not talking about the 15%. We're talking about the 15% of the total consumers.
Okay, yes, consumers. That figure is wrong. We are in the sector. Hold on, man. We are in the sector. I am aware that when NEC is pandering to the discourse and punishing electricity consumers in Nigeria for the failures of the operators, you come up with this. Have they done customer enumeration? Do they have NEC, who is the regulator? Has NEC independently verified the number of customers in that category? Because I'm aware that NEC has not done that because NEC does not have the capacity to do that.
Okay, if you really, I don't, do you really have, you don't really have that a fact, really? Because we don't
I can't project things here. If I to project things here, I can show you a survey we conducted here in Abuja, where the so-called Band A customers in some areas, we sampled some areas around Abuja, and they were not. In 11 months, none of them had electricity supplied for up to 18 hours.
Thank you very much. Okay, now we want to introduce our another guest that is joining us via Zoom to discuss the new electricity tariff. Now we have a power sector policy analyst and a legal practitioner. His name is Bode Fadikpe. Bode, you are welcome to Nigeria Today.
Good evening, viewers.
Bode, we are looking at the new electricity tariff. Now, what are the factors that you think influence the decision of the government to increase the electricity tariff for, the Band A consumers of electricity, which of course constitute about 15% of the total consumers?
In terms of what must have driven this decision, I think industry watchers agree on the fact that the subsidy burden on government was beginning to become more and more unbearable, especially against the background of the fact that even the gas company that supply gas to majority of the power stations that we have in this country had also increased their cost of selling of gas. And the moment there is increase at the production level, or one of the factors of production, inevitably it will affect every other part of the production process. So what we have seen this evening is a reaction to an increase in the cost of a major component for the production of electricity. And this is long in coming. Industry watchers also agree that whatever has been done today is a response to what ought to have been done a long time ago. The business of
Okay, I will sincerely apologize for that network.
As people would have wanted it to be. I don't know if you are hearing me.
Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, so the point we are trying to make is that asking 15% of the consumer population or the end user population to pay more than they had been paying before is a response to the pressure that the subsidy regime is imposing on the government. But there are some other major issues that are also consequential to this increase that we have just seen today. For instance, if you have excluded 85% of the end user population, then the question is what you are recovering from the 15%.
Okay, it appears we've lost him. We've lost him there. Now back to you. Okay, I know you raised some concerns on this whole issue. Now, how best do you think NEC should have managed electricity? Electricity sector with the current realities on ground?
Well, the power sector or the management of electricity is not rocket science. Bode is saying the current tariff increase is as a result of the increase in the price of gas, which rose from $2.18 to $2.46, 45 or 46 cents, right? And the 80 cents charged for the delivery or the transportation of 1 cubic feet. The price of 1 cubic feet of gas was raised from $2.18 plus 80 cents for transportation to $2.46 and the transportation cost. Now, we are denominating the gas pricing in dollars. We are talking of a product we have in abundance.
No.
The raw materials, look at it. The raw materials.
No, okay, we're just looking at the way forward.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying.
No, how best do you think that this sector can be managed?
That is where I'm going.
Earlier on, you said these are the issues.
This is where I'm going.
Okay.
We have gas that is being flayed in the Niger Delta. We have gas that is the raw materials is an abundance here. The gas processors don't import gas and require dollar to import gas. The raw material is here. Now, they are processing gas for domestic use. They are processing gas, selling to the gencos, who are generating electricity, sold to the distribution companies in Naira. And the distribution companies are in turn selling to consumers in Naira. So if we are talking of a way forward here, why can't the federal government of Nigeria alter that policy, which came up when the whole exercise started? We had no Nigerian gas policy. And they just went and brought this policy to make Nigerians buy gas that is used locally in dollars.
What is your recommendation?
Stop denominating gas in dollars because of the fluidity, the uncertainty in the exchange rate. If tomorrow now a dollar to Naira goes to 2,500 or 3,500, then we begin to panic. Why not fix the price of gas in Naira,
okay,
so that we don't need to be jumping up and down for exchange rate to buy gas?
We'll come back to you, Mr.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's take a short break and listen to comments from other Nigerians as regards the issue at hand. Please don't go away.
Power is, if you like, the next factor of production after land, labor, and organization and all that. So anybody who tries to change or increase the price of energy at this point in time is virtually calling for chaos, because the cost of production of, if there's any production at all going on, it will increase. Prices of goods in the market will equally increase. Virtually everything will be affected. So where would they want the masses to go? To commit suicide or to just die gradually like that? It doesn't make any sense at all.
Situation of the country now, everything is very hard. Everybody is complaining. Situation of this light is making everything worse because the heat actually is too much. And people now presently can't be able to even buy fuel so that they can be able to put in their generator for them to even on the gen from like 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock, just for them to receive a little fresh air before the thing will stabilize, where everything will be okay. It's not proper by me. I should be honest with you.
What is light situation like in your area? Which area do you stay and what is it?
I stay in Lugbe, but no light.
Let's say I live in Lokogoma. So our light tariff is, like, if you got light of 1,000 naira, it won't take you just 2 days to go off. It's of no use. Because like as I left my this morning, there was no light. Probably till evening, or if I'm not mistaken, it's maybe to the next day. Let's say on since on Saturday I don't have light. Today is Wednesday, I don't have light. So I don't think the 20 hours is for me. It's for those that live in the Maitama Sokoro for them. So we in the villages, I don't think it's for us.
In as much as the income is not commensurate to the increase. It's not palatable for Nigerians. Yes, we are speaking against the increment. It can be better if the government decentralized the power holding. But as it stands, Nigerians, we are suffering, like, seriously. You're paying for service and you're the one buying equipment. It's unfortunate, like, I'm referring to a peculiar situation in our environment. We all to contribute to buy transformer that is supposed to...
Which area is that? I'm not saying...
Kubwa, F01 to be specific.
Government should make it, maybe they should take it back to the 66 naira. Because you want to increase it, but there is no stable light. So when they fix all the dam and the availability of lights in all the area, then you can come up with, when there is an improvement in the power system, then you can come out and say, okay, we are increasing on the tariff based on the availability of light.
But they are saying that it's for people enjoying 20 hours.
Nobody is enjoying it. Nobody.
Welcome back. This is still Nigeria Today, and we are looking at the new electricity tariff. And I have two gentlemen with me, one here in the studio, and of course, one via Zoom. Now, Bode, you have the reaction of people there. How does the new tariff of these Band A, consumers align with government's goal and for energy conservation and sustainability?
In terms of alignment with government goal, I think one thing government is trying to do is to ensure that the liquidity crisis in the sector is addressed by way of adjustment of the tariff. And inevitably, you cannot run away from that fact. One other thing that adjustment will do is that if government is courageous enough to drive further on that route, you have a situation where more investors are supposed to come into the sector, because people can now have that confidence that if I come into this sector, I can I can invest in it and then recoup my investment and then have a...
Now, it's like we've lost him there, network issues there. Now, back to you, Uke. Now, I heard all you had to say, but remember that the federal government offset debt owed gas to power suppliers, that we have up to $1 billion debt. And from October to January, they offset 120 million debt. Now, in view of what you are saying, you are a Nigerian, and we want a better Nigeria. Will we continue owing in this sector? We want this sector to be better with what we are saying, and are they not fair enough to increase for just 15% of the total consumers and not the entire? At least that's fair enough. What do you think?
Well, being a stakeholder and involved in the sector, not sitting in offices, but we are right out there in the field, dealing with the people, dealing with data. I can authoritatively tell you that 15%, I repeat, is not correct. If you are talking of indebtedness in the sector, with the recent development that a disco published that he's being owed 47 billion, and even the villa was said to be owing 920 million. And when they went for debt verification, it was discovered that only 40 or 44% of that money was owed. Nobody is... Hold on. You must understand your problem and then proffer solution. What is the problem? Why are we here? We are talking of liquidity. Bode is talking of liquidity in the sector. What is liquidity? There is no money. We are talking of a market of over 200 million people. And as we speak today, Nigeria ranks highest of 90 million Nigerians who don't have access to electricity. 90 million. Nigeria ranks highest as a country with the lowest per capita, kilowatt per capita, the whole world, Nigeria. Now, we are talking of a huge market that we are unable to harness. Nigerians have the resources and the money. We are talking of a market where you have over 60% of customers unmetered. We are talking of a market with 35% ATC&C, aggregate technical, commercial and collection losses, too high.
But
and the global standard is 15%.
Mr. Oke,
yes.
Are these not strategies to ensure that this sector is improved?
This will fail. I have said it over and over and over that tariff increase, whether for 10% of customers or 50% of customers, will fail because it is not the bulletproof to shoot up the market. What do we need? If you meter Nigerians who are in electricity, deploy technology, get people into the net, collect revenue, the discos and the commission will tell you that over 6 or 7 million Nigerians are not metered and they are using electricity. And now you place them on energy caps, and nobody, the commission does not have capacity to monitor that. Even this one, they are telling you 15% of customers from band A are going to. What if the discos go behind to be migrating other customers into this net? Who supervises it? Who monitors it? Who detects it?
It's okay. That is what we should be saying. How we can implement this to ensure that what you just said does not happen.
For me, as a human being, and little on the understanding and the knowledge I have about the sector, I say it over and over again that tariff increase is hypothetical. It is not what is going to save the sector. Bet me, in 2023, there was tariff increase. They came up with reflective cost, this thing. They raised it. So when there was pressure, they now came up with reflective cost tariff and allowed this thing, allowed a tariff. So we should think creatively on how to get out of this mess.
Okay, now, Mr. Oke, what strategies should be in place to ensure that the tariff does not become a burden to Nigerians?
Good. It is the responsibility, I must state here clearly, by law, for NEC to set or fix electricity tariff. The Electricity Act 2023 gives them that statutory responsibility. There must be exogenous factors that must be in place, such as the Nigerian inflation rate, the exchange rate, the United States exchange rate, inflation rate, sorry, the contracted energy offtake, the gas price, and the capex adjustment. These are the conditions that must be in place for tariff increase. But they just increased the price of gas from $2.18 to $2.46. And now the inflation rate was projected for the last tariff adjustment at 28.20%, which is what we are in here now today. The only slight difference between the exchange rate where they fixed the last tariff was 911.29 naira. Today is a little bit over 1,000 naira, official rate. So you have two conditions for. You have four other factors against. And you choose to impose that as a result of these two factors.
Okay, now, lastly, I will ask you,
yes,
what measures can individuals take to reduce their electricity consumption and lower their bills in light of the tariff high?
Energy consumption management. What do I mean? Energy consumption management. I had a washing machine. Long before this time, I shut it down. You have air conditioners that are compressor, not inverter. Shut them down. Make sure that you control your energy consumption. You understand? If you do so, recently a university invited me, and I was able to scale down their energy consumption from about 50-something million to 31 million before this. Okay. So it is doable.
Good. Thank
Purchase appliances that are energy savings.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Well, without to wrap up today's episode of Nigeria Today, a very big thank you to the National Secretary, Network for Electricity Consumers Advocacy of Nigeria, NECAN, Uket Obunga. Thank you so much for your time. And also, we had a guest via Zoom from the power sector policy analyst and a legal practitioner and the CEO, Sage Consulting, Bode Fadikbe. Thank you so much for your time and your contribution. And thank you for being part of the program. Don't forget Nigeria Today airs weekly at 7:30 p.m. on NTA News 24. You can also check out these episodes and others on www.youtube.com/NTA News 24 Hub. I am your carrier, Clinton. Goodbye.